Hey, so the purpose of this video is to teach you the principle behind using constructing the major scale, but with numbers. So the numbers are both the scale degrees, first, second, third, fourth, but also the intervals. And in guitar syntax or in the E-system perspective, this plays like a really significant role in navigating the fretboard. So I don't want only to teach you pattern with dots that you memorize and place somewhere on the fretboard. I want to teach you the foundation of the guitar syntax. Just as major scale, you hear that million times, is the foundation on Western harmony, major scale represented with the numbers is the foundation of guitar syntax. And guitar syntax, it's your GPS of the fretboard. So let's go. Here on the left side, you see the major scale with 3 notes per string on each string, except on the G string, and then it's again 3. On the right side, you have it visually expressed in colors, how it looks on each string. And then in the middle, that's the process, how you go, and we will speak about it as we will learn it together. And before we go to that learning and actually doing it, I will speak a little bit about the 3 notes per string, about whole step, half step interval, about fourth and sharp 4 interval, and about minor third and major third interval, because those are the intervals that we're using when we're moving from one string to another. So to start, we need to actually synchronize the look at the fretboard. So first thing is we read from down up, not as a traditional text you would read from, up down, but we do it opposite way. That's why here I have the eye and the arrow pointing up. Then the scale I put over the fretboard down there so you can actually see it. You see, so it's like you would be holding your guitar and then you make it flat. That's how you see the dots and that's how you read. Now we start with the smallest interval. That's a half step. And on guitar, it's just the next fret. And a whole step, which is two half step, it's when you skip a fret. It's same everywhere on each string. It's easier than on piano because just next fret is half step. Let's go to the next slide. Now I assume you know the major scale. I assume you are like intermediate player. Sorry, I disappeared from the camera. I assume you are intermediate player or you moving from other instrument like piano to the guitar and the guitar is confusing and doesn't make a sense to you. So I will speak to you like you know the major scale, and if you don't, I will add links where I really slowly explain, also with image of the piano, how we construct major scale. We learn about the music alphabet, about chromatic scale, about sharps and flats. So you can watch that too to be ready for this sort of tutorial. So just quick reminder, the major scale is constructed by using tones that are in certain distance away from each other. And distance is half step, excuse me. And the distance is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. But we will use numbers to make these steps easier. So yes, here is shouting red in you 3, 4, and 7 and 1. This is where the distance is small, when it's the half step. You need to engrave in your memory. Number 3, it's only half step to number 4. Number 7, it's only half step to number 1. Now the numbers are containers. You can literally insert any tone as number 1, any of the 12 basic tones, And when you will remember the distance from 1 till 2, it's whole step, 2 till 3, it's whole step, 3 till 4, it's half step, and so on, you will create the scale on a fly. You actually don't need to be saying like E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E for E string, for E major scale. You just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And on the one string, the linear way, this is fairly easy. It's only the whole step and half step. So once you remember 7, 1, and 3 and 4, you do that really easily. From any place on the guitar, any string, any fret, you put there number 1, and that's your key tone. That's the scale that you are constructing. We are speaking about major. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you have that scale. But now we need to actually turn the scale the vertical direction, so we use all the strings. And to do that, to understand that, we will speak about how the strings are tuned to each other. So in yellow rectangle down, you see the name of the strings and little rectangles in colors. The brown one means 2.5 steps, and the yellowish one, it's 2 steps. So that means that the distance between each of the string, it's 2.5 steps, it's the same, except if you go from G to B string, because that's only 2 steps, the distance is a smaller. So that's why when you play or when you learn some patterns, the pattern is same, and then suddenly it's different. That's why, because there is the half step difference in the size, so you need to adjust, right? So let's take a look at the fourth interval first, because that we will need first. So it is called a fourth interval because if we relate it to the 1, you using the fourth tone, the fourth number. So you have first, second, third, and fourth. And if you count the distance, if you count the space, it's a whole step, and a half step. So it's 2.5 steps. Let's take a look at the yellow rectangle down again. So you have 1, 2, 3, and the number 4 would be here. The fourth tone would be exactly in its place. But it's also on the string below, exactly under, because this 2.5 steps is just the same as this distance. So that's how we move from string to string. Now you are ready to put it in action. So let's create a scale together. So we start with number 1 and we do the whole step, half step interval. So from 1 till 2, it's a whole step. From 2 till 3, it's a whole step. And we need the fourth number, the fourth tone to put, because we're using only 3 tones per string. We need a fourth one. So the fourth is exactly below. You see this arrow tells you the direction. The 4 is exactly below, 2.5 steps. And then you use again the whole step, half step. So from 4 to 5, it's a whole step, and from 5 to 6, it's a whole step again. And now we have a sharp 4 interval. In the whole major scale, you see, it's only one time happened that the distance from the 1 to 4 number is 3 steps. And that's when you go from 4 to 7. You can see it visually. All the spaces are big. You see? So you need to adjust that on the guitar, because if you would do only 2.5 steps, the number would be here, but that's not true. The 7, it's half step bigger. It's 3 big steps, not 2.5. So you need to put the 7 1 fret to the right. And that is a sharp 4. So with any other number, the 4, it's exact, you see? 5 to 1, it's a fourth. We can count it. 5, 6, 7, 1. That's a 4 numbers. So the fourth, it's exactly under. If we do 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from 2 to 5, it's a fourth interval. It's exactly under. From 3 to 6, it's the same. Okay, so the only time this happens is when you go from 4 and you need fourth interval from 4 and you need to do sharp 4. It's paradoxical and you actually can really easily remember it. And then we move to number 3. It's again the same. We're looking for the fourth number from 7. So we go 7, 1, 2, 3. And we place it exactly under because that's the fourth interval. But now comes exception. Because the strings, the G to B, it's tuned in 2 steps, which is a third, we're gonna use only 2 numbers on the G. And we will look for the third number, for the third interval on the B string. And here it gets a little bit more, tiny bit more complicated because we have major and minor third intervals. Well, we have perfect 4 and we have sharp 4, but that only occurs once. There is way more major and minor thirds in the major scale. So major third, as the name says, it's major, it's bigger, while minor third, it's small. So minor third has smaller the interval. You see, that is the half step. While major third has major big interval. So you see 2 big steps. And because the G to B string are tuned in a major third, the major third is exactly under the number or the next string. In our case, we need number 5. 3, 4, 5. We need the number 5 to put somewhere. And if you take a look here at number 3, if you go 3 till 4 and 4 to 5, it's a minor third. So you need to adjust and you need to place the 5 to make it smaller because under 3 it's major third. You need to use minor third, so you move 1 fret to the left. Let's just for interest check how it would be with number 4, yeah? So if you need the third from 4, you see the distance is big. 4, 5, 5, 6. So the 6 is exactly under. And this happens here, we have various, if you check the dots, it's only these 2 intervals, minor, and major third, but they are there many times. But look, there is a trick. If in the 2 numbers on the G string, it's number 3 or number 7, then you go to the left, because then the 3 tones that you are using have the minor interval in it. 3 or 7 makes it minor, and you go to the left. Obviously, you don't need all this for this major scale, but the thing is, you learn this and you know all the 7 modes, and you can just like this, create it and use it. So that's why I'm also telling you if it's from, for example, the 4 or 5 or whatever other numbers you have here. The principle is the same. Ta-da! That's the whole scale. When you go from B to E, it's just same like the strings above. 3 notes per string, and the fourth tone for note is exactly under. That's it. It's under 15 minutes. I think it's really great knowledge there. And I will add the links to videos I did in past where you can deepen this knowledge, as well as a major scale created like this, but going with graphic pen. So hope that was useful, and that was just the beginning.